Obviously, they were lights.
And when you hand the firearm to Gwabini, was it in its holster or did you give him the bare firearm?
Ngathi umnikeza uGwabini umnikeza isibhamu leso sikwi-holster noma wamnikeza nje sona sisodwa?
Ngamnikeza sona sisodwa.
The bare firearm.
Did Gwabini have a safe to store a firearm for you?
Ingaba wayenesafe yini uGwabini ukuthi angagcinela isibhamu?
Siqinisekisa salokho anginaso kodwa ngamnikeza lithi akwazi ukuyikhipha endlini yakhe ngoba kwakhiyekile futhi kwakungena nongangena ngenye access ngaphandle kokuthi angene la anele phambili.
Uthe awuyazi wena no yeke ukuthi awazi ukuthi wayenesafe na? Yes, about the safe I have no knowledge about the safe, but what I know is that the bedroom was locked. There was no other access, so anyone wanted to enter that bedroom, I had to go through that door.
And did he show you exactly where he stored the firearm for you?
Ingabe wakukhombisa yini la isibhamu asithathe wasibeka khona?
Akamtshengisanga kodwa ngangazi ukuthi sisendlini ngoba kwanganawo drop.
He didn't show me, but I knew that it was in the house because there was no wardrobe.
Now, as a police officer, you were trained in firearms, safekeeping, storage, and the like, correct?
Nanjengephoyisa ngithi wakuthola uqeqeshwa ngokuphatha isibhamu, ngokukhipha, ngokugcina isibhamu sisafe nokustora.
Yebo.
Yes.
And you also knew that it's a criminal offense for somebody to store a firearm for you when it's not stored in a safe, strong room or other device in terms of the Firearms Control Act when the firearm is not in your possession.
As a court, please, my lord, we object to that kind of, or at least the witness should be warned that there's no obligation on him to answer any question that might incriminate him.
Yes, you say the witness is immune from self-incrimination because he's got rights in terms of Section 35 F of the Constitution.
Yes.
So you're obliged to warn him best.
Yes, he did so
that he can exercise his rights to silence if he wants to. Or he can answer you after you told him, no problem.
Okay, sir. Now, let me withdraw that question and ask it again. I'm going to ask you a question that may perhaps lend you into a problem with the law.
Angithi qala angiqale lana ke ngithi ngizobuza umbuzo osengakufaka noma ongenzeka ukuthi ungakufaka enkingeni emthethweni.
And in terms of Section 35(3)(d), I mean 35 generally, not specific sections, you've got the right to remain silent, you've got the right to have a lawyer of your own choice. Legal.
The act doesn't say that.
Yeah.
He's not arrested.
Oh, let me leave that. Okay, all right, let me leave that. You've got the right not to answer a question that incriminates you. If you don't want to comment, you cannot comment. If you can, you may.
Lo mbuzo ke kuwena ke ukuthi uphenduleke uma ubona ukuthi cha awufuna ukuthi noma akusiyona ke inhloso yakho ukuthi uphendule ungasho ke kanjalo.
I was giving him the warrant officers. Sorry about that. So, just this question, it's not a lot of questions that deals with incrimination, just this one. And the question is this.
Sorry, what is his answer about the warning?
Uxwayiswa osinikezwayo uthini?
Yeah, ngiyasizwa.
Yeah, it mala.
So can I pose the question to you, then you'll decide whether you want to answer it or you remain silent?
I'll decide once you have asked the question.
No, could you decide before you answer the question?
Okay, umehluleka uqala ukuthi decide manje ke ngaphambi kokuthi ubuze umbuzo.
If umbuzo ubhekisa kimi ngicela ungawuphendula.
If it's a question directed at me, I'm asking not to answer it.
I respect that. Now, did Gwabini possess a license in order for him to store that firearm for you?
Ingabe uGwabini wayenelayisenisi yini emnikeza ke imvume noma igunya lokuthi loso sibhamu leso akubambele noma agcinele sona?
angazi angicabanga ukuthi nayo.
I don't know. I don't think he has it.
Now, you testified that at some stage you left that area to go to Top's bottle store to buy alcohol when you went to the bottle.
Naya eTops niyothenga khona ke utshwala. Ingabe uma usuhamba ke noma senihamba niya eTops, wahamba yini wayosikhipa isibhamu ngoba angithi vele kufanele sibe kuwena.
Ukuphendula lapho ngesikhathi ngihamba ngeTops isibhamu sasisekiwe.
When I went to Tops, the firearm was still with me.
And now let's move on because of the Section 35 notices, questions. I'll move on away from them. Now your testimony is that at Gwabini's place, and to use your exact word, it was busy, it was fun, it was revelry, it was music, it was dance, it was food, and the like, and with lots of comings and goings, correct?
Ushilo ukuthi kuningi nje okwakwenzeka lapha kwaGwabini, kuningi nje kwakumnandi, kwakugidwa, kwakuyingoma nje, kwakudliwa inyama. Ushilo nje uthi kwakubhizi nje bephuma abanye bengena abanye.
Yebo.
Yes.
According to your estimation, and I'm not telling you to a number, how many people were there at that place, in that revelry, party, whatever?
Uma usungaqagela nje ungathi babe bangaki abantu ababe lapha yana kuleya ndawo ngaleliya langa.
Ngiyakhona ukuqagela ngoba ngithi abantu babengena babephuma kodwa kwangabantu abaningi sazazana nabo abantu bangasekhaya abangena.
I wouldn't be able to guess or to estimate. As I said that people were coming in and going out, and it was a lot of people and people that we knew that were coming from back home where we are coming from.
And your testimony then becomes that around 9 p.m. you then observed or noticed accused number 1, 2, and 3. Is that 3? Coming back and from somewhere and going into Gwabini's room, correct?
Kushilo ke ukuthi ngakuma 9 yila ubone khona ke umsolo wokuqala, owesibili, owesithathu bebuya ke la ababebuya khona base beyongena ekamereni lakhe uGwabini.
Yebo.
Yes.
And you say that your suspicion was aroused. What caused you to be suspicious of people coming back and all of that?
Kushilo ke ukuthi yila ose waba neinsolo khona ke yini ke eyakubangela ukuthi ube neinsolo abantu bebuya la ababebuya khona.
Njoba ngishilo ngangihleli ngoba ngangazi ukuthi erumini kaGwabini kunesibhamu sami ingakho ngangihleli la ngibheke wonke umuntu ondlula eyakhona nophumayo nongenayo.
As I said that where I was seated, I was facing Gwabini's room and I was looking at each and every person that was going in and out of that bedroom. Yebo.
Ingakho ngakwazi ukubabona mabengena beya kulo leli camera. Ingakho futhi ngasukuma ngabalandela ngoba ngangathi ngesibhamu sami.
Hence then I was able to see them as they were going to that bedroom, and I then stood up and followed them, knowing very well that in that bedroom my firearm was there.
So in essence, are you telling me that the aim was to go and secure your firearm, correct?
Wena okwakusukumisa kwakuwukuthi nje uyoqinisekisa ukuthi isibhamu sakho sisecure.
Yebo ngoba bangena belandelana beya kuleli camera ingakho nami ngasukuma ngaya khona.
Yes, because as they entered they were following each other and they went to that bedroom, hence I stood up and also went there.
And further, according to your testimony, is that you observed accused number 1 in possession of a .38 revolver. I'm not familiar with guns. Is it a .38 revolver?
Ushilo? Yes. Tuyasho ukuthi wambona ke number 1 yena ke ephethe i.38 revolver.
And another person in possession of a 9mm. Who was that?
Ubani lo owayephethe i9mm?
Accused number 3,
umsolo wesithathu.
Can you describe the 9mm that you observed?
Ungayichaza le 9mm owayibona?
njoba ngichazile ukuthi mhlambe isibhamu nolwazi lwaso ngeke ngikwazi ukuchaza ukuthi lesi isiphi ngesikhathi esiside njoba ngisho ukuthi 9mm i-9mm ne-38 ihlukile ayifani.
Okay, as I said previously that I've got knowledge of firearms, but now because of the fact that it's been a long time since the incident occurred, but I could say that this was a 9mm, this was a .38 revolver, and because the two firearms are not the same, or they don't look the same. Yeah.
Yingakho ngithi wayiphethe 9mm omunye iphethe 38.
Hence, I'm saying that he was in possession of a 9mm and the other one was in possession of a .38.
But you can't tell us the make and model or the make of that 9mm.
Yeah, make an again 9mm ngechaza.
Ngeke ngikwazi ukuyichaza because ngangayithathanga ngayibheka kodwa engayithatha nje kuye ngiyibuka ngabona ukuthi 9 le angifuna ngikwazi ukuthi yenziwe yini ne-Rico or yipi company kodwa ngabuka nje ukuthi sibami na-mm then enye 38.
I just looked at the firearm and I was able to see that it was a 9mm, but as to whether it was a Norinco or what, I didn't inquire about that. I could see that this was a 9mm and this was a .38.
And could you describe the .38 revolver that you saw?
Ungayichaza yona i.38 le owayibona.
Umehluko ku-38 ne-9mm ukuthi 38 nesondo.
The difference between a 9mm and the .38 is that the .38 has got a wheel
And 38 kayingenanhlamvu.
and the .38 had no bullet. Inhlamvu noma inhlamvu.
Oh, inhlamvu or
Okay, it had no bullets.
So in other words, the 9mm was loaded.
Yeah, I loaded yona 9mm.
Angiyivulanga i-9mm. I was interested kwi-38.
Oh, okay.
I didn't open the 9mm. I was interested in the .38.
Okay. And your further testimony then is that you observe the same persons accused, number 1 and 3, handing the said firearms to Gwabini, correct?
Uthi wase ubabona ke yena number 1 kanye no number 3 benikeza ngazo le ibhamu lezi benikeza uGwabini.
Yebo.
Yes.
And why, in your opinion, were they handing those firearms to Gwabini?
Ngovolo wakho kwakungani benikeza ngalezo ibhamu benikeza yena uGwabini.
Ingakho ngithi nami ingakho ngabuza ukuthi why bephethe izibhamu.
Hence I said that is the reason why I inquired why are they in possession of firearms.
And did you get the joy of a response from either of the gentlemen?
Ngabe waphendulwa yini ke kulo mbuzo wakho?
Ngokusho kwabo angibangizafuna ukuthi abangiphendule ngabe sengibathethisa nje.
As they said it, or as they mentioned it, I didn't even want to know further. I just scolded them.
Let's move on and deal with this aspect of the beginning of your evidence in chief yesterday. You testified that you know, is it all or some of the accused persons in court?
Umuqala unikeza ngobufakazi ke izolo ingabe uthe ubazi bonke abamangaleli noma basola laba noma wazi abathize kubona.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ngalelo langa wonke umuntu ekhona noma athiwa ngangamazi noma ngangamkhumbuli kodwa bangikhumbuza bona.
I think that what I said is that on that day, even if I knew the person or I was in a position not to be able to remember the person, but they themselves reminded me.
Especially amagama abo.
Especially their names.
Just for contextual purpose, where are you, if it's a security concern, don't answer it. Where are you from KwaZulu-Natal?
Uma kuwukuthi ke kunezathu zokuvikeleka usho ke ungawuphenduluke kodwa bengifisa nje ukwazi ukuthi eKZN ubuya kuphi nendawo.
Ngizocela ungakuphenduli.
Okay.
The question not to answer that.
And then let me do it this way. I don't want to risk your security at all.
Angisho nje kanjena akusiyona nje inhloso yami ukuthi ke ngabeka nje engiphendule impilo yakho noma security yakho.
That area where you grew up from in KwaZulu-Natal, where you say you grew up, and I'll talk about accused number 1 and 2 only. Did you grow up in that area or as a young man until you came to work as a police officer in Johannesburg, or you moved early on from that area to come and stay in Johannesburg?
Lapho ke ngizothi kuwena la owakhulela khona ke ngiphinde futhi ukuthi akusona inhloso yami ukuthi ngibeke impilo yakho engcupheni malana la usuka khona. Ukhule khona ke isikakhulukazi ngikhulumela ke umsolo wokuqala kanye nowesibili ukuthi ke ukhule lapho kwaze kwafika kwisigaba ke la ekufanele manje usuzosebenza khona ke eGoli noma wahamba ke ngaphambilini kokuthi usebenze ingxenye yempilo yakho wazoyihlala la eGoli ngaphambi kokuthi usebenze.
Bengingahlali nabo.
I wasn't staying with them.
Bengiya khona ngoba kusekhaya ngasekhaya.
I would go there because it's my home.
And for example, when did you leave home? To work or study this side, whatever. What I want to find out is the gap that you last saw the persons that you say they were your neighbors. I may have forgotten their names. I was reintroduced to infosloras.
Ngifuna nje ukwazi noma ukubheka isikhathi ukuthi kwaba isikhathi esingakanani noma igebe elingakanani ke ukuthi uhambe nini noma ukuthi weza ngala uzofunda noma uzosebenza. Ngifuna ukubheka isikhathi ukuthi labantu laba othi wabakhunjuzwa uma sewuhlangana nabo ke efosloras ukuthi kwakuyigebe elingakanani usungababoni la ukuthi kwakuwomakhelwane ekhaya.
Ngicabanga ukuthi akusona isikhathi eside ngoba angithi mawuhambile ngiyaya ekhaya ngiyavakasha ngama-holiday ngama-festive ngiyababona mangababonanga ngibabonanga kodwa akusikho ukuthi ngiyile ngohlala nabo no.
It was not for a long time because I would go home to go and visit during the festive season, and if I see them, I would see them, and if it is that I wouldn't see them then, but it's not to say that I would stay with them for a longer time.
I will, during the break, take instructions from both accused number 1 and 2 because they were waiting for you to finalize your evidence in chief so that they can give me instructions about this particular aspect. But let me put the other aspects that they've given me in respect to your testimony about their identification.
Lokho ke ngizothi mase siyakuthi break ke ngizozwa khona ke ngoba belinde ukuthi nje uphothula ubufakazi bakho bazokwazi ke bangitsheleke noma ukuthi bathini ke bona kodwa ke angikutshela ukuthi bathini ke mayelana nokunye.
Hayi. Akangitshela.
Yes,
okay, you can tell me.
I can tell you what they have told me in prior instructions. So remember, we got your statement 2 days ago or 3 days ago. So we are waiting for you to finalize your evidence in chief so that we can take further instructions. Now, accused one denies that he is your neighbor from home. I don't know where your home is for security reasons, but he says he's from Matlabatini.
Umsola noma mangalelo oqala ke uyaphika ukuthi umakhelwane wapheke umakhelwane wakho ekhaya noma emakhaya uthi ke kumele akazi ukuthi wena ubuya kuphi kodwa yena ke uthi ubuya emahlabathini umangalelo oqala.
Uyaphika unamanga.
Is he denying it? He's telling lies.
Ungasizwa nje basekhaya mangisekhaya.
He's just further down when I'm at home. He's just further down my home.
Ubaba wakhe unomali.
Normally. His father is normally.
He will also testify that he's not acquainted to you and he has never socialized with you.
Uthi ke futhi akajwayelananga nawe akakazi nje ahlale nawe ke kube mnandi kungebeleke nje ndawonye.
Vele ngingaze ngihlale nabo. Anyway, eGoli.
Yes, I've never been with them or socialized with them in Gauteng.
My Lord, if I may take instructions, otherwise we are going to have to seek for an adjournment so that we take proper instructions because it will be an up and down with raised hands and it won't be pretty.
What time is it?
It's just a minute after 11.
Okay, we come back at 11:30.
Because the court case is